Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Cookie's Music Room. My name is Liz Kutschke, or as my students call me, Mrs. Cookie. On this week's episode, I would like to share a few strategies for helping support ESLs in your music room. I have my ESL endorsement from Northern Illinois University, and I received it in 2015. It was a one-year program, so I started in the spring, took 2 classes, 2 in the summer and 2 in the fall. And it has helped me so much. It has drastically improved my teaching and just opened my eyes a lot more to what's going on in my students' lives. So if you do not have your ESL endorsement, I highly recommend it, but hopefully this video will help you get started. I know before I had mine, I was very unsure of myself in teaching my ESL kids. I was kind of just hoping I was doing good and not doing too much harm. So once I started my coursework, I got to see, oh, well, a lot of these strategies are just best practice, but now there's another reason to do what you're doing. So hopefully these 3 strategies will help you, and I'll talk about more strategies in future episodes, but yeah, I could talk about this for hours and I'm not going to do that to you. So we'll start with 3. All right, so strategy number 1, use visuals and lots of them. So I'm already a visual learner and I was already doing this a lot, but it's good to realize that those visuals are incredibly helpful for your ESL kids. They help them make those connections between the words you're saying and what they actually mean. Now, I also like to project the words onto the board when we're learning a new song. So I project the words and I have pictures of what the words mean next to them. And that way the students can make connections of what they hear me saying, what the word looks like to see like the sound versus what it looks like, and then also the picture for the meaning. And that is very good for the kids. It's also good for your native English speakers because a lot of the songs that we use, like folk songs, they have words that these students haven't encountered yet. I mean, think about the song Little Liza Jane. Streetcar runs right by my door. How many of your kids really know what a streetcar is? Probably not many. So it's good to have those pictures anyway. I also use visuals, not just projecting, but I like to, for example, for Lucy Lockett, when we talk about a pocket, a lot of the kids think we're talking about like a jacket or pants pocket. But no, we are talking about a purse. So I take out my little, I don't have it with me, but like my little baggy purse thing that I use for the game. And it has a ribbon on the front. I just bought like those craft bags at the Dollar Tree that are like this big and glued a bow on it. And that way they can see it and make that connection. So it doesn't always need to be projected. You can just have the physical object or print out the pictures. I also like to use a visual schedule, and I can talk about this more in a future episode. I think I could talk about it enough for a future episode, but basically it's just our daily agenda with the words of what we're going to do along with a picture that represents it. So for example, if we're going to play a circle game, I have a picture of kids in a circle, and it says circle time. So then students can see our agenda for the day and we talk about it, and I point to each one. I'll just pretend it's here. And I'll say like, okay, we're going to start with our hello song. Then we're going to do a warm up. Then we're going to use some instruments today, and then we'll play a game in a circle. And then just seeing that visual schedule helps them see what we're actually doing, so that when everybody else is getting up and going to the back of the room and making a circle, they aren't going, huh, what? It helps them to already know what's coming. And so those visuals around the room, using maps, all kinds of things, visuals help them. Okay, so strategy number 2, and this is another one that I think a lot of you already do, using small groups and partners a lot. So the think, pair, share, turn and talk strategy, those support your ESLs. A lot of students who are learning how to speak English, having to respond in front of the whole class is very daunting. And so being able to try to give their response in a less threatening environment of just one other person or two other people is so much better for them. And especially if there's a student in that group that is a native English speaker, being able to hear their proper syntax and their proper word choices and use that is incredibly beneficial for them. So yeah, utilizing small groups and partners can help your ESLs. Now for strategy number 3, try to incorporate things from their home country, culture, and or language. Now, I understand that I have it a lot easier with my situation. I have a lot of ESLs, but they are Spanish speaking. So I can find Spanish language folk songs and use those. However, a lot of you might have students from all kinds of places and trickier languages to find folk songs for and things like that. So you don't need to just use folk songs. You can do dances, talk about instruments from their culture, famous composers or performers from their country, anything that you can find. I used to have a lot of students whose families were from India. So we did a folk dance called Dandiya Raas, which I actually found on Mrs. Miracle's Music Room's blog. I will post the link below for that. It's an awesome blog post. Also, I'll post the link for my visual music schedule so you could see what that looks like and all that. But anyways, so for Dandiya Raas, she even has a great video of people doing it so you can figure it out. But it doesn't need to be a song. It can be a dance or an instrument or whatever. But these opportunities for sharing are just gold. I can't tell you how awesome it is when I do a Spanish language folk song and my ELLs are now able to be the leaders when we have a complete role reversal and those native English speakers are going, huh? And they get to see what it's like for their fellow students every day, and those ELLs get to share their culture and their language, and it just fills them with pride and keeps them completely engaged, shows them that they're welcome in your room, right? I mean, so it's worth the extra effort. It's worth it so much to find those activities to make those connections for your ELLs. Yeah, so those are 3 of my favorite strategies for helping support your ELLs in the music room. I will share more in future episodes. But if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up below. Click subscribe to stay in touch for all future videos, which are released every week. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.